Alright, what's up YouTube, and welcome to Cartoon Cat Draws. This is part 2 of Guns of Marathon, so let's jump straight in and start looking at some of the guns I've drawn from Marathon. Alright, so for part 1 we ended with the M77 assault rifle, and so for part 2 I finished drawing the Longshot sniper rifle, and in the process I've noticed there are some standard parts that seem to be more or less similar between one another. So let's have the AR, drag it over here, and you notice that they seem to share the same pistol grip, a similar looking receiver body, although it has different decals, different markings, and a similar receiver where the magazine goes in here. And I try my best to like scrub the videos on from Bungie, from streamers, and everyone who's been playing in the closed alpha testing, to grab footage of the weapons that I'm trying to draw. And so yep, this is, I would say this is like the M77's big brother, because in between throughout the video I've in other videos I've also noticed that the twin fire or something like that, they also seem to share the same aesthetic, and so for the long shot there's a longer handguard. There seems to be something that looks like a laser pointer or a stabilizer. I'm not sure what these do in the game, and there are different barrel attachments, different muzzles on all the videos I've seen. They seem to have different appearances, different shapes, and they work differently for different play styles as well. And yeah, there's a big chunky stock at the rear here, and of course a big scope. I think so far I've seen 2 different high-powered scopes in the videos, so I'll be looking into more reference that, and look into more reference images, getting more reference images, and trying to draw more parts and expanding this library. Alright, and for the next one, there's the V95 Lookout, which seems to be an energy-based assault rifle weapon that's first seen on the cinematic trailer, that's used by UESC bots, enforcer bots. And also while drawing the Lookout, there seems to be some interesting concepts of the design, where the battery goes into this part, and it seems to be like a locking mechanism, and you kind of like swing the collective group of these parts, where you kind of swing it sideways, and then you load a cassette, a battery of sorts, and it locks in. And I have no idea what this huge chunk of buttstock means in this setup, but I don't think I've seen other variants of stock in videos out there, but I think I've seen variations of the barrel for this weapon, where there's some may have a longer barrel, or have an extra muzzle attachment in the end like this, where it probably like constitutes to maybe longer range, better damage, better accuracy, less hip fire deviation or something like that. And of course also there's optical mods that you can put up here, and this is just what I've pulled from the cinematic trailer, which is just iron sights. And as always, it's a pleasure to like dive into how each decal is applied onto every part, and more or less they I don't know what they all mean, but yeah, it's like random gibberish which I have no idea, but it's always delightful to see these details, these tiny details. And last but not least, for part 2 is a more compact version that's also first seen in the cinematic review trailer, which is the V22 Volt Thrower, which was also used by one of the UEFC bots, which also seems to share like probably it's because it's also an energy based weapon, so the reload parts seem to look very similar. And I think apart from, well, I was lazy here, being like just copy and pasting the grip module from the Lookout and just kind of making this part sharper and not changing the decals on it, because I've noticed in some parts the decals and markings on the weapons may not be consistent throughout the cinematic trailer. So while I was like keeping tabs on what marking goes on to which weapons, it's not consistent throughout the whole cinematic trailer. And I also understand that the devs are still in the process of like polishing the looks and the animation and the models of the game. So yeah, for the Volt Thrower, this is a reflex sight. There seems to be something like a lanyard loop for portable carry, which reminds me of like the whole setup of holding the gun in the front on this grip, and a very compact weapon reminds me of the Heckler & Co MP5K, where it's like it's a very compact submachine gun, and you have this sling loop at the back, at the butt of the weapon, so that you can just carry it, sling it around, and whip it into action real quick. And what's interesting is like I said, they share, the energy weapons seem to share the same look, probably like in universe. It's made by the same folks, same manufacturer, and I would say maybe like this like the V series, these series, they have families where their attachments, as seen in close alpha footage, where they work with each other in the same family. And so I don't know if there's a possibility that like you can have like a CQB barrel and you slap it on, you have a CQB barrel and you slap it on the Lookout, or you have the long barrel of the Lookout and slap it on the Volt Thrower, and you have yourself like a very pointable, hard hitting, or like modify these guns based on your play style. But that's just my 2 cents, and I don't know, maybe I just like trying to mess with like modular weapon system designs like this, because if you imagine, when I mentioned that this reminds me of the MP5K, I would say this the Lookout would feel more like the G3, the Heckler & Co G3, where it's they work on similar principles. They look they have the same aesthetic and design to it, but it shoots a larger bullet and hits harder with a longer range, and obviously feels a different purpose on the field. And so yeah, that's about it, and that's part 2 for Cartoon Cat Draws guns from Marathon, and stay tuned for part 3. Hopefully hopefully we'll see a lot more like 4K gameplay footage from the folks who are lucky enough to get a code for the closed alpha, and I get to collect more reference material to draw more stuff and hopefully complete the roster of all the guns from Marathon. So yeah, and of course thank you all for sticking through the very end, and thank you to these amazing people for supporting Pew Doodles on Patreon, and of course thank you. And here's, as always, here's a kitty cat video. So yeah.